A prison cell can be a lonely place for inmates, and some of them, mostly the crazy ones, spend their time by writing on the walls of their confined rooms. Today we're counting down the top 10 chilling words written on prison cells. Coming in at number 10, this graffiti-ridden prison cell in Caracas, Venezuela. This cell is in terrible condition, with many multiple inmates sharing the same room. On the walls are multiple phrases written in Spanish. In big, bold, red letters, Casa de Dios is written, translating to House of God in English. There are multiple other religion-related things written here, like Templo y Morada del Espíritu Santo, which means temple and dwelling of the Holy Spirit. It is reported that these prisons violate all the human rights of the prisoner. At number 9, this wall is covered with 4 names, along with the designation of passed away. The names on the wall, Chalice, Dell, Woods, and Cadell, are the names of prison guards. An inmate at the institution was apparently in a terrible mood the day they wrote this on the wall. The threats were clarified later by the prison that they were actually fake. The story goes that a private company offered sleepover services to people who were interested in living in a cell for a day after the building was abandoned. Many people ended up scribbling on the walls and pretending they were inmates. At number 8, one piece of rebellious art on a wall in Isla San Lucas prison. The prison island is also known as Devil's Island by the inmates. They were often treated poorly and were so far away from civilization that it drove some of the inmates crazy. One inmate drew an anarchy symbol onto one of the walls, exclaiming the disdain for the prison system in Costa Rica. The walls are also covered in explicit content, reflecting the loneliness they faced while incarcerated at the island. At number 7, Burlington County Prison in New Jersey. On the walls of this prison there are many chilling things written, one of them being an image of Jesus, which is being restored along with the writing under it. Burlington County is trying to preserve the art written on the walls, and is doing so by hiring an art conservationist to restore the art on the walls. The writing on the walls says this, from what I can tell. God, frail creatures are we all, but the fewer faults to thyself, and leave the rest to God. Thy conscience, and what, I wonder? What could the inmate be saying here? Let us know what you think in the comments. At number 6, once again at Burlington County Prison in New Jersey, another chilling image along with some choice words were written here. The image is now extremely worn out, but used to be a drawing of an eye, with the iris being drawn in detail, showing its characteristic line pattern. Under the eye, the words, "We're watching you, you can't get out," are written. Some of the drawings were done all the way back in 1955, when the whole prison was repainted for the last time, leaving the prisoners a canvas for their creativity. At number 5, this piece of prison graffiti was written in the 1600s. This chilling piece of graffiti is located in Palazzo Chiaramonte Steri. It was built as a palace in the early 14th century, but it was used by the Inquisition as both a tribunal and a prison between 1600 and 1782. Conveying centuries of Sicilian history, this is one of the symbols of Palermo. The prisoner's art includes this magnificently ominous piece. It's a depiction of many key figures from the Bible being led out of the maw of a giant dragon-like creature by what looks to be an angel with a scythe and a scribbled off face. The wall includes things written in Latin as well. Creepy. At number 4, we have the gallows at Windsor Jail. Gallows, for those who aren't aware, are the section of the prison dedicated to those who are extremely devious and are sentenced to be executed by rope. The words written on the wall of an 89-year-old prison cell say, 378. We're moving southwest, so don't hang around. This is a chilling joke written by an inmate at the prison, and was discovered by someone when decommissioning the prison and relocating the prisoners. This shows clearly the mental state of the prisoners there, knowing full well that they would meet their demise in the near future, and coming to terms with it so well that they joke about it. At number 3, a political statement carved into a prison wall. In Richmond Castle, 1,916 prisoners were held there for being British conscientious objectors during WW1. The statement says something that was very thought-provoking and radical at the time it was written. The only war which is worth fighting is the class war. The working class of this country has no quarrel with the working class of Germany or any other country. Socialism stands for internationalism. If the workers of all countries united and refused to fight, there would be no war. At number 2, we have this piece of literature that threatens snitches. Snitching is to tell the police of certain illegal activities concerning other people in their group to save oneself. Notoriously, snitches make plea deals with police and the legal system to receive less jail time than they would have for their crime for reporting the others. However, once in prison, if someone finds out you're a snitch, it made you an easy target for people who value honor and respect. The sentence on the wall reads, "Doing time is a blessing, unless you're a dog and do some confessing." Let's hope whoever wrote that never came across a snitch. At number 1, this wall is inside an abandoned prison. It is said by one person who was working in an isolated area of the prison that it is an extremely creepy place. He spent his whole day away from tourists and visitors, sitting on the deserted floor and thinking about what happened in the prison before everyone abandoned it. That's when he found this message on the wall: "We will be back," written in black, faintly on the wall. The prison said this in a blog post: "Spending so much time in a historic prison has made me think about what Michael Mayerfeld Bell calls the ghosts of place." In his 1997 paper, he is not speaking of ghosts per se, but rather the impact of resonances of places and our connections, or lack of them, to them, and how this impacts on the human experiences of place. After all, we are not robots. We feel strong emotional connections to some places, mild interest and even distaste towards others. But does this impact how we explore them? How we study them? How we try and understand them? It seems almost like the author of the blog post was driven crazy himself. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to press like, and we'll see you next time.